why I'm
No, just talk.
Leave me alone.
I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes.
No,
leave me alone.
0 minutes. I don't want to ever talk to you guys. I don't ever want to hear your voice to you. Please, God bless you, but please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Please stop following me.
You won't call the cops.
Stop. I don't. Stop stalking me. Please, I can't live here anymore because you stalk me. That's why I'm leaving.
It is March 30th, 2022. This is Cynthia Ortiz. These are the Charles Perry Stalker podcasts. We do the disclaimer, use allegedly. Nobody's been found guilty in a court of law just yet. Mr. Perry wants me to lie. You know, homeless, be homeless or lie. Starve to death or lie. So I've asked his attorney to send me a dollar amount. He'll bribe me. Call your ex-husband, make him bring you back to Texas, or call me. We'll make it worth your while. Send me an amount and send me what lie you want me to tell. Email it to me. I'll get right on that. Hold your breath. So use allegedly, apply the but for Mr. Perry doing crap like that to me, stalking, harassing, coercing, every violation of Title 18 of the United States Code you can imagine. He does it and thinks nobody will suspect a thing. Everybody's questioning his mental status at this point, that he would think that. He keeps doing what she says. What is she supposed to lie about? He's a stalker. He's a video voyeur. And a hacker. And he and his guys sit around and have meetings trying to figure out how to make me fail. Because nobody's caught their crime like I have. Alleged crime. Apply the but-for standard, the reasonable, prudent individual standard. Is that reasonable or prudent for somebody to do this?
Leave me alone.
I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes.
No,
leave me alone.
0 minutes. I don't want to ever talk to you guys. I don't ever want to hear your voice to you. Please, God bless you, but please leave me alone. Please.
And then say, lie for me. I've been doing this for 12 years. The evidence is piled up and piled up and piled up to prove the stalking. There's texts, there's emails, there's recordings. There's court hearing after court hearing after court hearing that I'm not in, which is called concealment of a material fact and perjury, Mr. Perry. So, does that sound what a reasonable, prudent individual would do? Depraved indifference to human life. We know she's under threat. We're going to just pretend we don't know. Depraved indifference. What would any reasonable, prudent individual do when they know somebody's life is in danger? Well-being, their safety, their well-being. Just ignore it. Maybe, hopefully, she'll die and won't tell on everybody. Because this is a big, huge corruption bullshit thing. So apply those two standards, the but-for standard, but for Mr. Perry stalking and harassing me all constantly, invading my privacy in ways disgusting. Everybody is sickened by what you're doing. You are one of the most hated men right now. You have no idea. It is not hard to get information, Mr. Perry. Cruelty disgusts everybody. You want me to lie? Have your attorney email me what the fuck he wants me to say. And how much money is it you wanted to bribe me with? Otherwise, I'll be homeless. That's my choice. You've seen me live for 12 years, struggling and struggling because you won't get your hands out of my wallet. You and your guys sit around and figure out how to make me fail. How many men do that? Who is it that got the Fabian puzzle to me in jail, right up under your nose? How do I know you have a little meeting trying to figure out how to make me fail? How do I know? How did I know Mike Neely was drugged before it ever hit the deposition? It wasn't even taken in depositions yet. I said it in March 2020. Depositions were taken in May. It hadn't hit the docket yet. It was not public. You tell me who is helping me, who got me the Fabian puzzle. How do I know you have a little meeting? How can we make her fail? Call her school, call her bank, call her insurance, call her landlord. Landlord, conspiracy to coerce and witness tamper. Right? Judicial bribery. Who's helping me, Mr. Perry? You don't even care. You're defying them. Which courtroom is that already being heard in? If they need a wiretap order. Maybe they got a leak. Maybe you got a leak that gave some information that led to a wiretap order. What court is that going to be heard on? What day will you be arrested and we don't have to deal with your shit anymore? Your cruelty, your demands of a lie. What day is that going to be? You're powerful. You can buy anybody. You tell me. Who's helping me? What courtroom is that already in? You're hated. Everybody's sick and tired of your cruelty. You're a monster. You think that's how you get a date? With who? We don't... Deviant men? Your buddies? Your partners? Your investors? Who are you trying to get a date with? You don't get women to like you acting like that. Spoil rotten little brat. I didn't get my way, so I'm going to make her homeless until she lies. Duly noted for the record. We assert all constitutional rights. First Amendment, 14th Amendment. I have the right to equal protection to Violence Against Women Acts. Title 18 of the United States Code 1512 and 1513. I put my testimony on the docket in a deposition and in a motion to intervene for Mike Neely. I'm not changing my story now, weirdo. You're trying to make me change my story. I've put it on all kinds of dockets. What do you want me to lie about? You keep doing exactly what I say. You're trying to coerce a lie. Starve me into a lie. We got to get her back to Texas so we can do more to her. Recorded. Recording after recording after recording. Who has those recordings? That's who you defy. This is reasonable and prudent. This is what a sane man does with dignity and class.
Leave me alone.
Acts like that. This guy? You shitting us with that?
Stop following me.
You won't call the cops.
Stop. I don't. Stop stalking me. Please, I can't live here anymore because you stalk me. That's why
No,
I
don't. Just call
leave me alone.
I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes.
No.
So we know, everybody knows you're trying to starve me into a lie. Everybody knows you were trying to starve me into a lie. I've said it and 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 said it. Everybody knows it. You want to coerce. That is a crime. Causing duress, intentional duress, to force somebody to say or do something they don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want to go back to Texas. You're going to kill me. Everybody knows that. You're making people sick. You're making everybody hate your guts, and it's not hard to get information. I guess, Mr. Robertson, or you, didn't one of you call somebody and say, we want to, she keeps finding out what we're trying to do before. We've got to find a way to do something to her where she can't find out before. And the guy said, it has built up and built up and built up. You got a history here. You got a history of crime. You got a history of it. You're not fooling anybody. You're being fooled. You're mentally ill. We can all see it. You're mentally incompetent. We can all see it. You have no ability to grasp what's happening. If you have to ask me, who told on me? How'd she find out? And you keep going at it. Because you have no idea. What does it mean? Who's telling? Who are they telling? What does that mean for you? You don't know, do you? You want to talk? I'm talking to you now. You don't understand a fucking thing I'm saying, do you? You're very slow. You got some problems. Alzheimer's or something. So, the call was, what can we do to do something? We got to take her car. We got to get her kicked out of her house. We got to force her back to Texas against her will where we can do something to her. Duly noted for the record in a different courtroom. Which courtroom is that? You have expressed intent to break the law. You premeditated it. You had a meeting about it. And you discussed what will we do to make her fail. Cause her a problem. Cause her catastrophic, profound loss again. And get away with it. Where she won't find out before. Where there's not some email before that says exactly what we said in our little meeting. And then we did it specifically what was said in that email. That represents a recording. Which law enforcement agency has those recordings? Those are the guys you defy. You don't care. You don't give a shit about that. You defy them. Doesn't matter to you who it is. So, this built up. And the guy said that. There's so much of this. You've got so much of a history here. You think now you're going to plan that one thing that she doesn't find out beforehand and now nobody else suspects you did it? What planet do you fucking live on? I'm sorry, but I don't think that's going to be a doable deal. Who was that said that to you, Mr. Perry? Did you call? Did you guys have somebody go tell Mike Neely? We think we found a way. We got her over a barrel. We think she's forced back to Texas. She's going to have to lie. She's going to apologize for defending you. And he screamed. He was so upset. Is that true? Did I hear that right? How do I know that? How do I know you're a child pornographer, allegedly? How do I know you're a cop killer, allegedly? How did I know Mike was drugged? How did I know Lucky had no opioids on him, nor did Mike? How did I know Mike was drugged before anybody else said it? The McNamara email. How did I get that information, Mr. Perry? Who's getting that information from you to me? Every day. Every day you talk about getting my car. Tow it. Have her pulled over. Frame her for something. Get her kicked out of her house. How do I know every day? All the threats. Make her go back to Texas. Make her go back to Texas. Make her go back to Texas. She doesn't want to. She's a grown woman. I got a 3.9 GPA. I'm going to college. You call it my college too? Got to make me fail because you can't keep up. You're a fail. You're the most hated man on the planet right now. I promise you. It is not hard to get information. How did I know all that information? Who else knows that? Anybody else catch your crime like we have? Anybody you know? I want to know who and date and time. Anybody else has caught your crime like we have? You are off your nut. You are fucking off your nut. I dare you to threaten me one more time. I dare you. Make one more phone call trying to make me fail. Do it. I dare you, Mr. Perry. You think this guy right here, Neil, is cool? You think he's going to get a date? Is that how you get a love life, Perry? A real one? You're an embarrassment to me, sir. We're sick of you. We're sick of hearing you need a lie. I need a lie. I want. Demand. Like you're a 2-year-old little brat. Everybody gets rejected. Everybody else moves on. Why can't you? You can't keep up? Watch this.
0 minutes. I don't want to ever talk to you guys. I don't ever want to hear your voice, you. Please, God bless you, but please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Please stop following me.
You won't call the cops.
Stop stalking me. Please, I can't live here.
Now, everybody else feels like this, and you don't give a shit about everybody else. All you think about is you. I'm going to be cruel, and you're going to do what I say. And I need a lie, so you're going to fucking lie for me, or starve. Be homeless or a lie. Duly noted for the record. Which courtroom, sir, is that in? This is how our guys feel.
Leave me alone. I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone.
Hey, men. Leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them. Especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to. But even when they're not, unless a woman is giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumbass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior, and you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public. It doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her, and you need to leave her alone. And this is bacon.
And like this, you want to violently subjugate me. Call me. I'll help you. You're going to help me by getting the fuck out of my business. Butt out. Butt out of my business. You have violated my privacy in the most egregious, unimaginable, sicko way no normal person could think up. There's somebody that thinks up your little weirdo techniques. I want to meet that guy. I'd like to slap him the fuck across the face. Trying to, manipulate and gaslight or whatever the hell it is you guys think you're doing. Your little stalking, harassment, weirdo technique doesn't work on me. You know what it does do? It pisses me off. Do you get your lie when you fuck with me? Nope, you get told on. And it's been that way every day for 12 years. We understand that golly. Who's the person that said, point out for me on Mike Neely, where's the injuries that look like he was in a fight? Read the arrest report. Where's the fucking injuries? Who said that? How do I know that was said? Who was it said to? How do I know you're a child pornographer, allegedly? How do I know that? How do I know you came up here and told all these different stories, living a fantasy life? Perry goes to Oklahoma and says he's under threat and he's got an entourage to protect him. What a delusional whack job. That chick moved twice. I'm quoting somebody. That chick moved twice to get away from him. If he thought he was under threat in Oklahoma, what the fuck is he doing in Oklahoma all the time? We don't even know where he's domiciled now. He's up there so much, they can't get that guy to leave. He's supposedly safe in Lubbock. She left. Moved twice. So, that one, the girl, Cynthia, paid $5,000 to her boss to avoid going where there's a threat. David Robertson, Terry Wagner, Mickey James, Pinto, Joel. You, Perry, are the threat. You're caught this time. What courtroom is that already playing out in? Do you know? I thought you had power. You need an entourage. You're under threat? Are you shitting us with that? You live on whack job land. Everyone knows that. Who do you think you're fooling? I think it's the other way around. You can't keep up. Boo fucking who. You have no love life. You have a daydream and you look ridiculous with that. You look as bad as this guy. So, you look that pathetic. You look that pathetic. We laugh, we joke around. I mean, you have no idea the jokes that float around because you look that pathetic. Instead of just acting like a grown-ass man, move on. Everybody else can, why can't you? Are you inept? You're just inept. So, the guy says, Perry goes up to Oklahoma. They can't get the guy to leave. He says he needs an entourage. She's a threat to him. You know anybody that goes where the threat is and won't fucking leave? She's paid $5,000 to her boss to avoid going to work where you gotta go to eat, where she's clearly under threat. And so basically, the point is, when you really feel like you're under threat, you don't go to that place. You have to go to work. You're getting in my wallet when you do that. You're pissing everybody off. You've never been told on this much. You know why? You are hated. You are hated. Seething hatred. You're turning people against you. It's not hard to get information. You're the gift that keeps on giving. You can't control yourself at all, can you? I thought stalking was about control. Whatever. So the guy says, the entourage is a bit much. And then the next minute, he's a victim of a political vendetta, but there's nothing. This chick rants like a motherfucker. There's nothing out there, anywhere, political, that indicate there was any kind of a disagreement politically at all. Anywhere. It's all about stalking. Every rant she has, going back to 2011, is all about stalking. Has nothing at all to do with politics. Then he says they're married. Well, all of this stuff is contradicting. Because if she's a threat, there's not a love life there, right? It's imaginary. There's nothing to support the fact that she has any feelings for him, but a huge amount of hate and disgust and she's repulsed. There's no real love life there. He's imagined it. There's no threat, or he wouldn't be in Oklahoma. He's imagined it. Is it personal or political? Can't be both. Is she a threat or is there a romance there? Can't be both. What's your story? What lie am I supposed to tell, Looney Tune? People are like, oh my God, he's not all there. He's not operating with a full load. He's just like him. And guess what? Our guys feel just like this one.
Leave me alone! Please!
Just talk to me for 2 minutes.
First, let me say that I'm happy that the lady in this video is okay. Second, let me break down what rape culture is. Rape culture is the fact that that man felt that he was entitled to some of this woman's time just because he said, let me talk to you for 2 minutes. Doesn't matter if it's 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes. If she said no, no means no. Rape culture is the comments that she has on her video about how she should have just spoke to him or dressed differently. Rape culture is me taking the heat for calling out other men for their terrible behavior. Rape culture is trying to explain stuff as, oh, it's just locker room talk. No, it's not locker room talk. You should talk the same way wherever you are. We all know that rape is not about sex, it's about power. So for you to force yourself on somebody, even if you're just talking to them, is disgusting, dude.
Okay, so the definition of domestic violence is trying to exert control over another person and make them do things against their will they don't want to do. That's also the definition of coercion. It's a crime. you're a criminal. People hate you for what you're doing to other people. The cruelty, the devastation, the loss, the ruin. And how do I know you're a child pornographer, allegedly? That's a serious sex crime. You're fucked up, dude. So, I mean, so I got help from somewhere. You don't care who it is. You just defy them. And you threaten me, and threaten me, and threaten me, and threaten me, and threaten me. Every day, I'm threatened with death, false arrest, income loss or property loss. Every fucking day. And I dare you to do it again one more time. I dare you, Mr. Perry, to do it again one more time. And I want to know who in your life before me caught your crime as much as we have. Who told me? You told Mike recently, we think we got her over a barrel. She will have to go back to Texas and lie and apologize for defending you. And he got so upset he screamed. Who told me that? Who got me that information? How dare you lie to him and put him through that psychological torment? No such thing is true. My choice is homelessness. And my landlord will have to deal with conspiracy to coerce and witness tamper. That's their problem. I don't want anything to do with you. And no one cares how you feel. You know what we care? Your victims, how they feel. The Millers, the Neelys, me, my family, the other women you hurt. That's who we want to know how we feel and what we think. Sir, your patterns are starting to emerge. Your MO, your history, your habits. It's 12 years. You've been under investigation, police investigation. Otherwise, how would I know what you're doing? My grades are 3.9. All of a sudden, everybody has a little meeting. How can we make her fail? Duly noted for the record. Butt out of my business, all of you. Butt out of it. You're invading my privacy. You're violating privacy laws. That's a very serious offense. You think we're not going to do something about that? We already are. And I've said it over and over. God isn't mocked. You reap what you sow. You invade my privacy, my guys invade yours. And they have a court order to do it and you don't. Who are they? Who are they? Mr. I got power. So he comes up here, basically, pretending like he's somebody important because in Lubbock he knows he's not. He can't get away with that over there, where everybody knows he's just a pathetic nothing. Boring little accountant with no life. I mean, I didn't even know what to say to that. So he comes up to Oklahoma and tells everybody, oh, I'm a senator. And everybody's like, oh, wow. And he's got his entourage. So people think he's, some big shot. One of the people in Manford a long time ago when he was stalking me there made a comment about it. Well, he's a senator. And I go, oh, my God, no. What kind of senator? A senator. No. There's state and there's federal. Which one? Because the federal senators have a whole lot more power than state. It's Harry Reid. When I moved to Lubbock, I had just walked out of the office of Senator Harry Reid, who was a majority leader in the United States Senate and a minority leader in the United States. He had a lot of power. I didn't think much of you. You might as well be a dog catcher as far as I'm concerned. I grew up in the House of Power in the town where I grew up. My granddad was instrumental in getting the UFO museum set up over there where people come from all over the world to look at that. There's National Geographic, History Channel documentaries on that thing. My granddad's always talked about, he did an affidavit. I know exactly what happened over there. You don't. You have no idea. My granddad was the police chief, a county treasurer, a city councilman. I grew up in a house where our family was the power in the town where I grew up. You have no idea what that's like. Jerry Springer show. You're pathetic. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of you imposing and burdening families and raping and robbing women and children so you feel tough. You're too weak to pick on men. Is that your thing? You got to pick on women to feel like a tough guy? I'm going to make you be homeless or you lie. Have your attorney email me what the fuck lie I'm supposed to tell. I wouldn't lie for you if you had a gun to my head, and you pretty much do. So people in Manford were like, oh, he's a senator. Oh, he's walking around with his entourage. And I'm like, oh my God, if you only knew. He's a small time nothing. He might as well be a dog catcher. I told Pinto that, didn't I? Didn't I? You got little man syndrome or whatever that is? I think you do. It's embarrassing to me. It is so fucking embarrassing to me. You know what's worse embarrassing to me? Is that you lie and you think people believe you. You think everybody's as dumb as you. You don't lie to people smarter than you. They know you're lying. They'll tell you whatever you want to hear to get you to fuck off. And for you, that's pretty much everybody, Mr. Perry. Pretty much everybody's smarter than you. So I'm like, he's a small-time state senator. His district is 3% of this population of one state. And it's so heavily populated with far right-wing Republicans that it's not even up for grabs, so it's not volatile and not valuable. Nobody's going to target that district. It's too small and it's too one-sided. I'm just talking about strategery with political consultants. If you want to flip a district, it has to be flippable. Or you're not going to pay attention to it. You're not going to put any money into it. You don't give a shit about it. It's irrelevant. So what power? You got to come up here, the guy said. What he's doing is because he's a nothing where he lives, really. He's not important in Texas, as it turns out. So he goes up to Oklahoma, lied, and told people he's a threat. He's under threat. And walks around with an entourage. He's lived 4, 6, 7 years now, a fantasy life up in Oklahoma where nobody knows any different. How embarrassing. He pretends 1 minute he's under threat and he needs an entourage. He goes where the threat is and they can't get him to leave. She's paying $5,000 not to go where the threat is. Does that make any sense to you? It doesn't to me. Sounds to me like he's full of shit. Wants her to lie. Be homeless or lie. We have one that won't obey us. We think we're God. So we got to force her back to Texas where we can do something to her. You've been trying that since I was in Manford. There's a lot of recordings on it. You told my ex-husband when I was in Manford, try to get her go back to Texas with you. And he did. Recording after recording after recording. Who has them? What law enforcement agency has those? What court have they already been heard in? Before what judge? What are you going to do when you're arrested? What date will that be? That they wrap all this up and you're gone. I assure you that's what we want. Everybody's sick and tired of your drama queen act. Everybody's sick and tired of how poor me. I can't get a date. I don't know how to get women to like me. I act like this weirdo.
Leave me alone! Please!
Just talk to me for 2 minutes.
First, let me say that I'm happy that the lady in this video is okay. Second, let me break down what rape culture is. Rape culture is the fact that that man felt that he was entitled to some of this woman's time just because he said, let me talk to you for 2 minutes. Doesn't matter if it's 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes. If she said no, no means no. Rape culture is the comments that she has on her video about how she should have just spoke to him or dressed differently. Rape culture is me taking the heat for calling out other men for their terrible behavior. Rape culture is trying to explain stuff as, oh, it's just locker room talk. No, it's not locker room talk. You should talk the same way wherever you are. We all know that rape is not about sex, it's about power. So for you to force yourself on somebody, even if you're just talking to them, is disgusting, dude.
Stepdad's been raping me.
Leave me alone! Please!
Just talk to me for 2 minutes.
Leave me! Please, I can't live here anymore because you stalked me. That's why I moved.
Just talk
Leave
to
me
me.
alone.
No, I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes.
No!
Do you feel power when you act pathetic like that guy every fucking day for 12 years? That's not a love life. Your friend told you that. That was also recorded. You're wasting my time. You're taking time away from my family and my business over an imaginary love life. You don't have a real love life. There's no date. There's no chance of a date. Didn't he say that to you? And you don't have a cover-up, by the way. She's uncovered your crime more than anybody you know. So stop wasting my time. Didn't he tell you that? I think he did. What planet do you fucking live on, sir? Have your attorney email me whatever fucking lie you want me to tell. And how much money do I get paid to tell it? You want to bribe me? Do it like that. Or shut up. Get out of my life. Butt out of my business. Get out of my privacy. I don't want a thing to do with you. You are hated right now for what you're putting me through. For what you're putting the Neelys through. For what you're putting the Millers through. You're hated. I mean hated. It isn't hard to get information. You're cruel. You're very cruel. You're a monster. And this time you're getting caught. Who is it helping me? You're so smart, you got power. Who's helping me? Threaten me one more time. I dare ya. Threaten me one more fucking time. Make one more phone call to my school, to my landlord, to anybody invading my privacy. Do it one more time. I dare you. I dare you. Are you not able to learn from your history? Yeah, I've never seen anybody this dumb in my life. In my life, ever. All of you. All of you. It is pathetic. You're hated. I promise you. You are hated people right now. Nobody likes cruelty. How could you not know that? You got people turning against you like a motherfucker. Stop bothering everybody. Get your ass back to Texas and leave me alone. Voyeurism is a crime. You don't have my consent. You have been billed $1,000 a day for every day you sit on your fat lazy ass, perverting around, making trouble. Against my will, without my consent. Plus $2,000 a day for doing it without my consent, making a profit off of my body, my property, and my utilities. You do owe that money. You want to wait till it gets to restitution stage? It might be more. I don't know. I don't care. You know what I know is we want you gone. Everybody hates your guts. You need to know that. When you're told on, that's how that happens. Empathy. People don't like cruelty. You're being stopped because you can't control yourself. Don't fuck with me. When you do, you get told on, David. You too. I don't know who you are, David, and I don't care. I'm not from here. You don't matter any more than Charles does. There's a guy just like you in every fucking state. A bad guy with mommy issues he can't keep in his own family. One of you in every state. You think you're God. Got a God complex. I didn't come up here to pick a fight with you. You picked one with me. When you picked one with me, you picked one with my guys, all of who think like this.
Leave me alone. I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone.
Hey, men, leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them. Especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to. But even when they're not, unless a woman is giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumb ass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior, and you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public. It doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her, and you need to leave her alone. And this is Bacon.
What does that say, Mr. Perry? I don't want a scandal. I don't want drama. Here's what I want. I want that weirdo to leave me alone. You guys, men who are men, protect women and children. Only some weak son of a bitch is cruel to women and children because you're too weak to pick on men. My guys don't pick on anybody unless they have it coming. But if they pick on somebody, it's men. And they're picking on you. And they have turned the heat fucking all the way up. And so, when you get told on, don't complain about it. You did ask for that, didn't you? In March 2020, Mr. Perry offered me a bribe after he found out that I knew Mike was drugged and didn't kill Chief Miller. Then he got caught. We got a hitman we think can kill her without it being linked to us. Now that's the big thing. We got to find a way to false arrest or kill her and it's not linked to us. Or get her kicked out of her house or make her go broke until she has no choice but to come crawling back and begging. Okay, I'll lie for you now. Have your attorney send me what the fuck lie. you think I should tell? What do you want me to apologize for? You're stupid. You keep getting caught. I'm not sorry. I'm honored to be homeless, to fight your crime, because at the end of the day, I know exactly how this is ending. What day are you going to be arrested? You have power. You figure it out. Who's going to do the arrest? You have power. You figure it out. What judge is already hearing this shit? You have power. You figure it out. Get your entourage and go find out who is it. Who is it that did this? Get your entourage, Mr. Power, and go find out who got that to me in jail, depicting you as a selfish little butt-in and nothing more. Never wanted, just a wannabe. That's the best you'll ever do. And you create fear and sadness and cruelty, and everybody's hating you for it. And so it's not hard to get what you just said. How dare you torture Officer Neely the way that you did? He did something right, or he wouldn't be where he is. I did something right, or I wouldn't be where I am. You wouldn't have a little meeting. Call her school and make her fail. Call this guy and make her fail. Make sure she can't get work. We have a witness. You're confirming that witness. Maybe we have more than one. You're confirming those witnesses, Mr. Perry. How stupid. The guy said to our guys, the guys that got me this puzzle, that you and your entourage can't figure out who it is with your power. As long as I've known Charles Perry, he trolls women. He travels without his wife, Jackie. Nobody knows really what he's doing. There's no alibi. There's no accountability. There's nothing. He trolls women, and he finds divorced women with kids. And when they're not home, he pays the landlord or the maintenance guy or a locksmith and puts cameras in their home. Hidden cameras. And then he broadcasts them all over the world, all over the dark web. And you got human rights violations. And that's what got this started. That crime right there. International. Maybe some guy in Europe doesn't give a fuck who you think you are. Maybe some guy in Canada didn't give two shits who you think you are. And they get that to me, and they can tell me, Mike Neely was told that you are being forced back to Texas, and you're going to lie, and you're going to apologize. And he screamed, because he felt hopeless. How dare you put him through that? Psychological torture is your thing, right? The witness says he's a sexual sadist. I'm talking about crime causation, Mr. Powell. It's not lewd and lascivious. You guys are stupid. You got a Cracker Jack box law degree, Mr. Powell? Listen, slavery ended in the Civil War. Sex trafficking and sex exploitation is a very serious crime. And you got international implications. Maybe some guy in Europe and Canada or, Sri Lanka doesn't think you're cute. Deal with that. We have 12 reporters in our loop in the Need to Know. Some of them in the U.S., some of them are overseas. What day do they break the story? Right now, it's on the down low because we don't want you to know who all's involved. Names would come out. So what day is that going to hit? And how are you going to keep some guy in, wherever country from reporting what you have done? It's already being reported. This isn't blackmail. This is, you need to know that everybody hates what you're doing and your cruelty. You're being stopped. You're being stopped. And there are parts of this you can't control. Like this, it got right to me in jail, right up under your nose. And you had no control over it, did you? Why don't you control you? Mr. Perry, why can't you just control you? You're confirming our witness every day. He said Mr. Perry's a sexual sadist. He enjoys hurting women and children. You like watching little kids take a bath? Is that your thing? He said he causes these women to get fired. And now all of a sudden, a nice peaceful home with kids, little babies, don't have anything to eat. They're struggling. Then they lose their house. Then he has the ex take the kids away. He rips families apart. I'm glad somebody's finally putting a stop to it because I'm sick of sleeping with one eye opened. I'm worried he's going to kill me because he told me about this wanting my money to invest in it. It's a business. Who's helping me? Who got that to me in jail right up under your nose and you did not control it, Mr. Perry? You tell me. You and your entourage go find out who got me that puzzle in jail, right up under your nose, without your permission and without your control. The reason we have 12 reporters in the loop is so that we make sure the truth gets out about what you've done. And there's no, I'm going to buy a lie. It will be the facts. It will be the truth. You are hated. It is not hard to get information. How do I know what you do? You keep asking me who told on me. You can't control that either. You have your little meeting. How can we make her fail? How can we make her fail? How can we make her fail? Because we can't keep up. We got to pick on women and kids because we're too weak to pick on men. A lot of guys don't like that. A lot of guys don't like that. It's pathetic. You're pathetic. Have your attorney email me what the fuck lie you think I'm going to tell. You want me to do a podcast and read it off to everybody? Here's the lie Mr. Perry wants me to tell. I'm reading it to you now. He wants me to apologize. I'm being forced. I'm being starved. I don't have any food. I don't have a place to live until I say this, read this speech to you. Do it. Threaten me. Do it one more time. I dare you. What does that say? January 4th, 2016. He thinks if he kills me or false arrests me, that'll prove he's not a stalker. It's actually going to prove he is. Starve me to death. Prove you're not a stalker. Make me be homeless. Prove you're not a stalker. Prove you're not stealing my money. Grand larceny with intent to coerce. Interference with interstate commerce and contracts with intent to coerce. In-state contracts and commerce with intent to coerce. We're going to force you against your will to lie for us. It proves me out, and it proves our witnesses out. You think we only got one? Get your entourage and figure out who those people are. Look at that. What does that say? He wants to false arrest me to coerce. That's in 2015. And then you carried it out. And you failed because you were trying to kill me. You obstructed justice. You committed perjury. And I lost my evidence. You destroyed my evidence that you were trying to kill me. You did the same thing to Mike. Now you got a pattern. Once you see a pattern, you can't unsee it, Mr. Perry. You're caught this time. Who is helping me? You're defying them, so you don't care who it is. You're pissing everybody off. You are hated because you're cruel. You're hated. You don't have human empathy. You don't have it. You guys, none of you do. Because if you have empathy, you cannot bring yourself to do the ruin and the damage you have done to my life, my children's, the Neelys, the Millers, and all these women you hurt, and all those little kids. You ripped their lives up, and you don't care. You don't give a shit. But guess what? Other people do. And they're putting a stop to your crime like it never has been done before. Get your entourage and go figure out who's helping me. Who got me this email right here? This email represents a recording. Who has that recording, sir? Who has it? Get your entourage and go find it. Same people that got me the Fabian puzzle in jail. They got what I said the first time because I have repeated the same thing every day, over and over and over and over and over and over, and everybody's sick and tired of hearing you're a stalker soap opera and you need a lie and you want to make me apologize and you can't get a date. No one wants you. And how poor you. You don't have a real love life. You don't have any power either. Or I wouldn't be able to get this right up under your nose. You had no control, did you? What about this? Who else are the victims of the senator? Who? Who's talking? Who's talking right up under your nose and you don't control any of it? How did I know Mike Neely had to be coaxed or begged to go to Pensacola so you could do what you did to them? How did I know that? Get your entourage and you go find out yourself. You got power. Or what about this? Look at the date on that. Look at the date on that. We're going to use her as a test case before the Supreme Court. We're going to perpetrate a fraud, a knowing, willful fraud upon the highest court in the land. What we're going to do is send her home. We're going to harass the shit out of her, do things like make her go broke, lose her home, take her car, forward her mail, wreck her car, cause a mechanical problem. Problem after problem after problem. Invade her privacy, make phone calls we have no business making. Interfere with her love life, interfere with her family relationships. And when she complains about it, we'll say she's harassing us. Stalking is unwanted contact. I don't want your contact. I don't want you. You're cruel. Everybody hates you right now. Everybody hates you. You guys are all hated. It's not hard to get information. And when I was in jail, the same thing. Because Mr. Powell told everybody what y'all were going to do. And he told attorneys. And those attorneys told their clients that were in jail with me, who did get out and go talk about it. So everybody, a lot of people, most people in Lubbock already know what you're trying to do. Force, harass, rape, rob, ruin, cruelty after cruelty. And you're hated for what you're doing. Because everybody else does not like that. If it's illegal to do something, that means people don't like it when you do that. And a bunch of folks got together and made it against the law. You go to jail. Harassing a woman. Peeping. Hacking. Causing financial duress. To coerce a lie. I'm asserting my equal protection rights to Violence Against Women Acts, domestic violence, stalking, anti-voyeurism, anti-privacy laws. Title 18 of United States Code 1512 and 1513, anti-coercion laws. Go ahead and threaten me again, I dare you. Have your attorney email me what fucking lie you want told this time. It's always something different, isn't it? So everybody hated you, and they told me about this. Get rid of your phone. Same thing here. My guy tells me every day since that August 2000 thing, this right here where it says it's not legit, but I'm going to have her car towed and sold before she figures that out. Dated August 23rd, 2019. My guy says every day we record them talking about towing your car, wrecking it, or causing an engine to blow up. And then I've been through like I've had 4 car accidents in 2 years. Brick thrown at me on the freeway. Totaled my car. Drained all my oil out, took the taillights out. My guys called me in the middle of the day. I was working all night, and so needless to say, I had to sleep sometime. It was during the day. I'd wake up about 3, get up, have my coffee, eat a little, get ready for work, and go back to work. I get up and Charles, shut up. He's typing in my computer right now. This is not a conversation. This is not a conversation. Nobody asked you what you think. What were you asked to do? Shut up. We're sick of hearing what you think. Go back to work at the strip club. You want to coax me like you did Mike to Pensacola? How did I know Mike had to be begged to go to Pensacola? You like coaxing, don't you? Sit around, have a meeting, premeditate a crime, and then coax the person to go to that place so you can commit the crime, right? Duly noted for the record. Threaten me one more time. You tell me what to do one more time. You coax me one more time. You take one more penny. You take one more minute of my time. Do it, I dare you. Your crime's not been caught this much. Who has this recording? Who has it? Get your entourage and go find out what law enforcement agency has the recording that goes with that right there. And one every day since. You want to coerce a lie. Have your attorney email me the lie. You want to force me back to Texas against my will. I said no. I'll sleep under a bridge first. Do you think I'm kidding? You saw me go without electricity for a week. No food, no electricity for a week. I have struggled and struggled and struggled and struggled for years because you can't get your hand out of my wallet trying to coerce your lie and make your imaginary romance that's not real to me at all. You know, I don't know what the hell you're trying to do. You will not touch me ever. There will not be a hug fest between me and you. I heard you recording after recording, trying to kill me, trying to ruin my life. There's not going to be tea between me and you. You come in, I don't go where you are, but you come where I am. You'll get beat up. I'll beat you up. I'll kick the hell out of you. I'm not going to touch you. You're not going to touch me. So who has the recording of this? My guy says every fucking day. We've recorded him talking about getting your car. And then they do it. The Duvals. I didn't call the Duvals, Mr. Robertson. Calvin. Who's Calvin? How do I even know who Calvin is? Who has the recordings, Mr. Perry, about Calvin? Which law enforcement agency has that, Mr. Perry? Calvin. Get your entourage and go find out with all your power. Charles, go. Get out of my life. You go. He's still typing in my phone. You go. You leave. I came to Oklahoma to get away from you. You have broken into my home. You're sitting on top of me, raping me, and you're telling me to leave my house. Who the fuck do you think you are? Duly noted for the record, you threatened me again. You threatened me the fuck again. You're doing exactly what we say you're doing. So what am I supposed to lie about? You're something. You're a whack job. You're wacky. Everybody says that. Everybody hates you. It's not hard to get stuff like this because you're cruel and people hate you. They turn against you. You're not getting it. You're mentally incompetent. You have no idea what I'm saying right now, do you? He's caught and he's still saying go. You're caught. You're trying to starve me out of my home. You're trying to kick me out of my home where I came to get away from you. You weren't invited here. Go. Get out of my computer, hacker. Hacking is a crime in all 50 states. Voyeurism is too. You should know what I'm doing right now. I'm in the privacy of my home. You broke into my home. You were not invited here. I came here to get away from you. You're a stalker. Stalking is a crime in all 50 states. Crime after crime after crime after crime after crime. Threaten me again, you little weirdo. I dare ya. Threaten me again, you sick son of a bitch. You are hated right now. It's not hard to get stuff just like that. Not hard at all. Because everybody hates your guts for what you're doing, your cruelty. You, David, Josh, Joe, Matt, and Calvin. Who's Calvin to you? Calvin, which law enforcement agency has those recordings? Get your entourage and go find it. Who said this right here? Who has this recording? Point out for me on Mike Neely where the injuries are that look like he was in a fight. Read the arrest report. Point him out in there. So what am I supposed to lie about, you sick son of a bitch? Because I'm going to tell you something. The evidence isn't going to lie for you, and it's not going to apologize. You want me to lie for you? That's a crime to force someone against their will to say something or do something they don't want to. You're proving me out. You're just the sick son of a bitch I say you are. So that's what the guy said. Where's the injuries on this guy that looks like he was in a fight? Look at my son's face. He was hit 3 times. Why don't Mike Neely's hands look like his face? Or Chief Miller's face if he beat someone to death? So threaten me again. I dare you. Which law enforcement agency has this recording right here? Or the recordings with Calvin's name in it? Or Calvin talking? Or the guy who said, can we not get her to mind us? She won't take the yellow brick road. Get her a bus pass. Get her out of Oklahoma. She won't subjugate to our violence. Charles, you're pathetic. I left. You need to act like a man your age and act like you understand what the hell I'm saying. Because that's the thing right now that you don't know. If I know what you just said, and I can quote people like this, and I know who Calvin is, but I don't know who Calvin is to you. If I know that, if I know you've been over torturing Mike and Lisa and John Neely, so you get a thrill, you get a sick little thrill, you got cameras, you have your online peep show. If I know all that, Mr. Perry, what else might I know of the seething hatred towards you for what you're putting us all through? Huh? What else might I know about that? You are making everybody mad. You are not getting a date. You're not worthy of the shit on my shoe being thrown at you. You're that bad. You are that bad. Nobody likes cruelty. And the questions right now are about your mental competence, that you're not responding properly to what's being said and the information that's out. And then you're not reacting right. And then it looks like you need to be in a nursing home. You may have Alzheimer's. That is the conversation behind your back right now. Because we've said this over and over and over and over. What is she supposed to lie about? He keeps doing exactly what she says. So what the fuck is she supposed to lie about? She did say Mike was drugged before anybody else said it. And then it was confirmed. And he has nothing on him to indicate he was in a fight. She kept saying they're not going to let me testify. And that's what happened. He kept her from testifying. You suborned perjury. You're going to jail. Who's going to do that, Calvin? Who has these recordings, Calvin, Charles, Dave, Josh, Joe, Matt? If y'all talking, that you have to keep asking me who told. Which courtroom had that already been playing in? Get your entourage and go find it. You got power. You got power, Perry. Go find it. What are you doing today? Sitting around perverting around all day again? Sitting around on your fat, lazy ass perverting? Pathetic. You're rejected. 12 years, not one date. But you're told on, and told on, and told on. And that's the thing, that's the conversation. Charles Perry is not understanding what is happening clearly. He's not understanding anything that's going on. He's not as properly assessing the information as it comes in to him and then responding appropriately, because he's more caught in his crime more than ever in his life, and he acts like he doesn't know that. He acts like he thinks there's still a romance here. There's no romance. He is told on, and you can tell he has no idea. He has not a clue. I think he's got Alzheimer's and needs to be in a nursing home. Those are the conversations behind your back. And people hate your guts. I can't believe he's so cruel. Why in the hell would he do that to her? Who the fuck does stuff like that? What can I do to help? Let me know. What information can I get to you? Those are the conversations behind your back. You don't have control over. They don't need your permission. They got me the Fabian puzzle. Didn't call you up and ask your permission, did they? The McNamara email? Didn't call you up and ask your permission, did they? The take her car and have it towed and so nobody called you and checked in with you, did they? That's who controls this, not you. But you get your little entourage and you go find who those people are. And I dare you to threaten me one more fucking time. Take one more minute of my time, one more of my money. You do what you do. Do what you do. All right?